As you guys know, we probably already got the last big patch of WWE 2K23, as the team is most likely already working on WWE 2K24. But I still can't wrap my head around how some of these things are still broken with how many patches they have already put out, and I feel like some of the stuff has been ignored. Maybe it's a coding issue that they just don't want to go ahead and talk about, or something that they just can't address right now and it has to be built again from the ground up. But I truly feel like some of these issues do need to be addressed, because yeah, a lot of people are losing their marbles. Now the first one, guys, and this is not in order, is the tag teams forming in universe mode. How is there an option to toggle random tag teams forming or not? And then I do that, and then I sign on maybe 2 or 3 days after I just played universe mode, or if I simulated, and then I see like Sheamus and Shanky in a tag team, or Montez Ford and Austin Theory in a tag team. That's just crazy. It's really annoying because I have to go on ahead and put these tag teams back together, and if I delete it, I have to actually go back on and then put their trons back in. It's just a process that we as players should not be going through, especially if we toggled on the option to not make tag teams happen. So it's kind of ridiculous that this does still happen and it hasn't been addressed, and hopefully it is addressed in the near future. I've seen that last year they pretty much patched the game up till November, if I'm not mistaken. After November it was kind of like whatever, but maybe it is a small fix that they can do and address, because man, this is crazy. There's no reason why I should be having to go on ahead and build my tag teams again. Another thing that I do want, which probably won't be in the game this year, is run-ins back. I mean, I love the scenes, but as much as I do love them, we don't have that freedom. So bringing the run-ins back to have maybe both. I did like the run-ins because they would come through the crowd and then you can actually do your move or whatever you want to do. I feel like with the scene run-ins, it's kind of just predetermined. There's no freedom in the scene where you can kind of do your own move. A lot of the time they just interrupt and then go back. So you know, it's cool to have the run-in where you can be the actual wrestler and do what you want to do after they come through the crowd. So I think that would be a super cool thing to bring back, as I feel that they take a lot of things out and bring them back in to then get us back excited for that same thing that you just took out. But that's just all video games nowadays. It probably is a marketing strategy at this point. Not really sure. Another thing, guys, this is more gameplay wise. As you guys know, and I really appreciate 2K for doing this, they added tired finishers back to the game with a patch. But I do remember in the past we were able to crawl for pins, and I don't remember that being necessarily broken, so I'm not sure why it got taken out. Here we go again, talking about something that got taken out that seemed perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm not sure why that got taken out, so hopefully they do bring that back. It adds some realism. There's times where I hit a tired finisher, my wrestler gets back up like nothing happened, like he just didn't do a tired finisher, he's not selling the move, and then I have to go for the pin after that. It would be cool if you can just kind of crawl for it, and I've seen that a lot of people actually want this, and it's an animation that I'm pretty sure you guys have, because that was not that long ago that we had that option to crawl in the game. Another thing that I do think needs some work is sliders. The sliders are very cool. I love the fact that we can control the match and how that goes with the sliders, with the pins and everything, but it's unfair for your players to have to create a brand new universe mode save. You don't know how much time they have with that, and then you have to go on ahead and redo that again just so the sliders can work. It just sucks that the sliders don't update for the whole game, but you have to create a new save, which in theory it does make sense to create a new save, but there has to be a way around that, because for us the players, man, we put a lot of time into our universe modes, then we got to build the rosters again and literally do everything again. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So hopefully you guys can work that out in the future, maybe next year. I don't know if this year is going to be a thing, but maybe that can be worked out eventually. Another thing in universe mode that I think needs to be updated is the pay-per-view scenes. There's no reason why we should not have any pay-per-view scenes. You can just end the rivalry on a random episode instead of a pay-per-view. How about if we had the wrestlers shake hands at the end of a pay-per-view? Sucks that we don't have no scenes in a pay-per-view, because a lot of stuff does happen in pay-per-views. A wrestler can make a major comeback at a pay-per-view and attack the champion or whoever they want to start the feud with. It's just very interesting that you guys went that route. I do know that it's like a ranking system, like, oh, if you win you go up higher, but there should be a scene system, even if it's limited, but just something where we have more control, because there's times where me and my friend who have a merged universe mode, we actually have to go and create a regular show and then do the scenes that way, and I feel like we shouldn't even be having to do that. It should be just part of the pay-per-view, and that's that. Now guys, the big one is MyFaction. That is a big problem with a lot of people. Personally, I'm kind of used to the MyFaction coming from Ultimate Team modes and My Team for 2K. So I'm kind of used to this, and you know, Legends being a part of My Team and Ultimate Team, but they're not part of the regular rosters. That's the way they get you. Now, WWE, they get you with attires and things like that. And it's unfortunate because as wrestling fans, I feel like this mode does not work. Just because of the fact that we're missing attires that people look forward to. Maybe it was a gimmick that somebody had as their favorite. It's just very unfortunate. Hopefully in the future we can go on ahead and get something added where you can unlock the character then, but then again, then to their point is like, okay, so what's the point of you playing the mode? I just think the mode has to be done away with. Or if you drop an attire, you can just sell the attire, that way you still monetize from what you're dropping. But I just don't think right now this is working. I think next year with the MyFaction, I think MyFaction could be a little bit better, especially if the online works, because online is horrible. Like, I lag. I can't even play online. It's just horrible to play, believe it or not. I even thought AEW Fight Forever servers were a tad bit better than WWE's, but that's nor here or there. MyFaction has some potential in my opinion. It can still be worked out. I even think that if they went the 2K route with levels and things like that, I think it could be better. But right now, it just feels like a major offline grind to then get the gimmick of the wrestler that you enjoy, and then you just get to play online with them, and it's just one-on-one matches or whatever the match type 2K decides to put in the game. Has a lot of potential, but I don't know what they're doing, or the MyFaction team. They need some pointers from a more experienced team or something. But right now, guys, these are my issues with the game. There's, of course, way more and a way bigger list than I can go over. But right now, these are some of the important ones for me that I wanted to go ahead and put out there. If you guys have any issues with the game that you want addressed in the future, maybe this year or in WWE 2K24, let me know down below, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you guys. Peace.